Hello, Feminine Collective. How are we doing? My Divine Feminines, are you doing great? My name is Moriah. If this is your first time viewing me, welcome. If this is you coming back because you liked the last Divine Feminine reading or you like my readings overall, welcome back because, wow, that's one of my things is to grow my tribe here. So I'm excited to have all of you joining me, whether you've been here for a while or whether you're brand new. You are welcome here at my table. So, in meditation last night, Spirit pretty much told me I was going to do a picker card reading today for you all. Just that there's a lot of different energies out there, and each woman needs to hear what they need to hear. So, we're going to do a pick a card reading. And we're going to do the seashell is group 1. The crystal ball is group 2, and it's on the cat stand. And then group 3 is the bell. All right. So we're going to use those to pick our groups. So again, group 1's the seashell. Group 2 is the crystal ball. Group 3 is the bell. You can choose 1, 2, all 3 videos, whatever you'd like. Maybe you want to watch one today, come back and watch one tomorrow, come back and watch one the next day. However your spirit leads you, we're going to do that. I'm using the Rooted Woman deck for our oracle. So we're going to read from the book the oracle card that is face down. You'll see that when I turn the camera around here in a minute. And then I thought we would use my royalty tarot deck, the royal tarot deck, and then if we need confirmation cards pulled, we'll use the Rider-Waite or my mini, whatever feels like needs to say something. And we'll just go from there. So I hope that this finds you well. And I don't have a spread developed at all. We're just going to let the cards fly, and what comes out is what we'll read on, okay? Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right. Now let me turn my camera around. Let me pause us and turn my camera around so we can get a shot of the cards. All right, everybody. So I hope you've picked your pile. All right, let's go ahead and get started with group 1. All right, group 1, welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's take a look. So for those of you that picked the seashell, we fittingly, I've not seen these cards, but we fittingly have the river. So it's card number 10. So let's read what card number 10, the river, says. And then we will pull some cards around that. So let's see what the original person who created these cards says. Let's look at the card, though, because it's really kind of cool. So there's river. In the tree is a wise owl. And there's fox. And there's deer. And they're all being together, hanging out at the river, getting a drink. Its own little ecosystem there. Fox isn't trying to eat the deer. The deer isn't trying to eat the fox. The owl's not throwing a fit because they're there. Oh, there is a big fish swimming in the river, too. I don't know if you can see the big fish. It's right down here. Right there. Big fish. 5 stones. 4 trees. I just like looking at the cards. All right. So rivers and springs, the old stories tell us, have their origins in the other world and carry with them its life-giving nourishment. In European myth and folklore, they're closely identified with divine women who are present in the water's flow. From the perspective of a map, the path of a river might seem to be fixed, but the truth is that they're dynamic beings. The river's course will shift and flex during its long lifetime. And its waters will swell and diminish from day to day. Sometimes a river will rise and break free from its banks, casting off all that restrains its inexorable flow. If I could read. It's the ultimate in flexibility, but its strength must not be underestimated. When rock meets water, it's rock that always eventually gives way. A river is a silver thread, snaking through the land. She's everywhere and nowhere. She travels on past us, but she still remains. She's the flow of all our longings, the flow of inspiration that propels us through this life. She knows exactly where she's headed from the very beginning. She's always on her way home to the sea. The river always leads you home if you can only bring yourself to trust the flow of life as it carries you onward. This card invites you to trust that flow of life, to stop resisting and believe that the course you're taking, though often it will twist and sometimes it will turn back on itself, it will eventually lead you home. All right, so let's talk about this flowing river, y'all. That's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to grab the royalty deck. All right, Spirit, what do my Divine Feminine collective that chose the seashell in group 1, what do they need to know about the river? What's the current energy of the river collective? You're in transformation. Allowing the river to wash off the rocks. What doesn't serve you anymore. Putting to bed and to death and getting rid of whatever no longer serves you. Good on ya. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Scorpio with that death card. So you and Spirit have made a decision. You're working together to let go of anything that no longer serves you. And to let the river just bring you home. Okay. 3 of Pentacles can also be about your work. So if you're having some issues with work or you're changing jobs, maybe some of you are changing jobs with this death card. Maybe some of you are retiring. I know I'm getting there. One of these days I will. But I think that, with the river and death and the 3 of Pentacles, we're kind of being led to just move in a new direction. So, because sometimes, if the river's flooding, its banks will swell, it'll go over its bank. If it's really dry, it may completely dry up in spots, right? You have to walk across it. All right. Okay, Spirit, next question. What... I didn't even ask the question yet. But we got the Page of Pentacles. All right, so the Page of Pentacles is telling me this page likes to learn, likes to figure things out, likes to tinker, and so maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe, instead of forcing yourself, maybe the new leaf is learning to just be a little bit more inquisitive, be a little bit more curious about the world around you, taking the time to be curious about the world around you, making the time to be curious about the world around you, right? So pages are definitely about learning. So some of you may be going back to school to do something more in alignment with your life's purpose. And that's great. I applaud you for doing that. And some of you may be teachers, people who teach others how to grow and develop. You may be ones that shape our children's minds, right? And you know that letting the river flow is probably just better. It's easier, than having to, hold the river back, right? Because the river of learning is ever changing. I mean, we didn't have the technology that we have today. Back when I was growing up, we didn't have that. And so I had to learn as an adult. It was a little more difficult, but our kids know how to do everything. And so that can be challenging for teachers. It can be challenging for nurses. It can be challenging for moms and dads, right? But I think that this card is signifying that you are either taking on the embarkment of learning something new, or you're a teacher teaching something new to someone else. All right. And okay, Spirit, what else does this collective need to know at this time? Okay. All right. So Spirit is saying it's contemplation and seeing things from different perspectives is kind of important when you've got the river, right? Because it can look like it's the same way it always was, but I don't know if any of you have ever been on a river in a kayak or in a canoe or in a boat. They've come out with things now that can help you traverse the depths of a river. But sometimes you can get twisted around and turned around, and if you don't have a GPS with you, you don't know where you're going, right? And you're forced to just follow the current. And sometimes you need to turn around and go back up against the current, and that sucks. But it is what it is, and the lessons that are there are that we can go against the current, and we can make it to our destination. It just takes longer and more work. So I think the hangman is asking you, do you want to go upstream or down? Do you want to go against the current or with the current right now? So are you going to go with the flow? Just do what everybody else is doing, or are you going to maybe go your own way? Maybe change how the rivers, change how you are on the river. Heading back up the river might be hard. Definitely more challenging on the physical body, especially if you're in a kayak and you're rowing. If you're in a boat with a motor, not going to notice. But if you're in a kayak or a canoe and you're rowing, you're going to notice because it's going to take more effort. And I think Spirit's just saying, hey, plan it out better. Maybe go with the flow. Maybe have somebody meet you at the bottom, pick you up. When I look at this card, I see the Rider-Waite and this one together. Okay, the Rider-Waite is Spirit handing the person a cup. The person sitting there bummed about the 3 failures they've already failed at. They don't want to try a 4th time. They don't want to be like, okay, yeah, let's try that again, a 4th time. But in this one, she's taking the cup. She's like, yeah, those didn't work. I'm going to try this. So it may be that you need to look at something from a different perspective that you once were very passionate about. And you've tried to make it work, and you tried to make it work, and you tried to make it work, and you've done it over and over and over again, and it's just not working. And I think what Spirit is saying is, hey, look at it from a different angle. Okay. Put yourself in the shoes of the people that are going to see it or be affected by it. Look at it from a different angle. All right, group 1. Underneath, you got the Queen of Pentacles, so go forth and conquer. Okay. Queen of Pentacles is nurturing yourself. Okay. That's what I got for you in the river. So let me know in the comments if it resonated with you. All right. I'll see you next time. I love you. All right. Welcome back. Let's do group 2 with the crystal ball. Let's do group 2 with the crystal ball. Let's see what your card is. I haven't even looked, so let's see. Oh, we got the labyrinth, group 2. In a maze. All right, let's read about the labyrinth. Helps if I find the right card. There we go. All right. The labyrinth. During the Middle Ages, the practice of walking the labyrinth of great Christian sites like Chartres in France became entangled with the pilgrimage tradition. Labyrinths created in the stone floors of cathedrals were often the final landmark on a pilgrim's path, and so became a symbol for the spiritual journey which they had undertaken, assisting with the process of integration. Ooh, we integrating some stuff, group 2. The labyrinth card reminds us that life is not a linear journey, but its single path leads ultimately to the center, the path with heart. The good news is that labyrinths aren't mazes. They're designed to help you find your way to the center. They're designed precisely to center us, because walking the labyrinth lifts us out of the everyday world for a while and fosters contemplation. And there, at the center of the labyrinth, you'll discover new insights, uncover old wisdom, and gain new knowledge. You'll begin to understand why it was that you decided to walk this path. Then it will be time to make your way out of the labyrinth, taking into the world the gifts that you received in the center. Oh, we're finding our center, y'all. Look at us go. We going to find our center, group 2. Okay, so journey into the labyrinth with me. Let's go. Let's go find our center. All right. Spirit, what is the labyrinth representing for this group? Truth. Getting to the heart of the matter. Getting a message about truth. All right, we got the Knight of Swords here, folks. Got the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is all about truth. Fast, quick, incoming, quick thinking, truth. Also, with this Knight of Swords, I'm getting off of it that at the center of the labyrinth that you're walking is the truth. So we'll take that as it resonates. All right, let's take a look at Spirit. What is the current energy of the women and men watching this? 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Y'all are masters. Do you know that? You're mastering. You're masters of your work in your own life. So good on you. This is a great card. I love the 8 of Pentacles. It just diligently doing the work. diligently doing the work. And pentacles are of the material world. So that could be your business, that could be your job, it could be your home, it could be, you know, your craft, but you're doing the work. And you're learning and you're mastering whatever it is you're doing. And so we got the labyrinth. So are we mastering the go within game, the fix myself game? Fix myself before I can fix anyone else, I think. All right, Spirit, what's hidden? I got two. Another, okay, group one got this card too, but there's a transformation coming, death and rebirth with the Three of Pentacles. So this is, Three of Pentacles for me is you working with your divine higher self and spirit. Okay, so this is just saying to me that we, you know, that we're transforming. We're following the labyrinth. We're going in. We're getting to the center. And once we get to the center, there's going to be a change because our minds are going to change. Our thoughts are going to change because our heart is going to change. Okay. Any advice and guidance when walking this labyrinth? Any advice or guidance when walking the labyrinth? One second. Sorry about that, group two. I had to sneeze and I didn't think you wanted to hear that on camera, so I apologize. All right. We got under advice. Any advice? We got judgment. So use your discernment. Judgment's also a card of balance. It's seeing things for what the way they truly are. Okay, seeing things for what they truly are, seeing things for as they truly are, and when we go within, when we follow that labyrinth path, and we try to get to the center, to our center, we try to get back to who we are, we do have to call judgment on ourselves for lots of things, you know, because we're human, okay, and because we make mistakes, and that is not a sin. Okay, original sin didn't exist until the Catholic Church got a hold of the Bible. There was no such thing as sin. Sin is just being human. So when we call judgment on ourselves, it's because we no longer resonate with whatever our human nature wanted us to resonate with. Has nothing to do with being a bad person. Because everybody has within them the opportunity to be as good or bad as the next. Okay? Everyone, I think that's one of my biggest lessons that I've learned over the last few years, is that if I'm one with the all, and that means everybody, then I am one even with those who I disagree with. Even with those who I see as really off their kilter, okay? Really, the ones that I just see as not right, okay? But I'm still part of them, and I can be just like them. If I don't stay in my center, if I don't keep walking my labyrinth and finding my center, okay? So we're all on a journey home, back to self, right? And then I have the King of Wands as well. So the King of Wands is sometimes an arrogant ass, okay? And I don't know if you have an arrogant ass in your life, but sometimes I can be an arrogant ass sometimes too. But he's determined. And he knows exactly what he wants, and he's going to go get it. Nothing is going to stop him. And I think with the labyrinth, we need to take some of that energy of, yeah, nothing's going to stop me from getting to the center. I'm going to get to the center. I'm going to find my center. And once I find it, I'm going to make sure that I never lose it again. I'm going to protect it. I'm going to balance it. I'm going to make sure that it is what it is, where it is. All right, Spirit, what doesn't this collective that chose the labyrinth see coming? Can I get one more on that, please? What don't they see coming? Okay. So as you walk the labyrinth path, you may discover that others have lied to you, that you've lied to yourself, that you believed a bunch of lies, and it may break your heart a little bit. Three of Swords. Just like group one, I'm going to give you some of the same advice. Sometimes walking the labyrinth is hard. And we discover things about ourselves that we need to chip off and polish and get rid of. And it's not always fun. But if we're curious enough about it, when in a Page of Wands energy, in a fiery energy, we can quickly burn it away. Okay? Quickly let go of what doesn't serve you. Use your curiosity and your passion, your desire, to find what does bring you back to center. Cultivate that. Be with it. Sit with it. All right. We're going to get one more card. All right. Spirit, any last words you'd like to say to group two? Yeah, the labyrinth is all about going within. The Hermit is here. Virgo energy. So it's all about taking the time to go within yourself and to walk that pilgrimage. Okay? So to walk your pilgrimage. And just like, I can't make this up, just like group one, you also got the Queen of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck. You're good, queens. You're good. Okay? She loves from the heart. She nurtures. She is what she is. Oh, group two in the labyrinth. That was a good read. I like the labyrinth. All right, don't forget to walk your labyrinth. Okay? Get to your center. All right. Group two, that's what I got for you. All right, group three with the bell. Let's take a look at your card. Let's ring your bell just for funsies. See what we get. Oh, the Isle of Women, Women's Mysteries. Ooh. Oh my goodness. This is like one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's card number 17 of the triangles. The Isle of Women. In Irish mythology, I'm going to mispronounce this horribly, but Tir na Bam, the Isle of Women, is an island which lies far across the Western Sea. Sometimes called the land of the living, it's a beautiful country of many colors, filled with music, flowers, trees, and birds. In the British tradition, Avalon, too, is an Isle of Women whose inhabitants, epitomized by the character of Morgan Le Fay, are healers and scholars. The Isle of Women is a place in which women's mysteries are celebrated, a place which allows them to be explored in safety and sisterhood. It's a hidden and protected land. Men come here uninvited at their peril. The women's mysteries, which are honored and explored here, include the blood mysteries of monarch, menstruation, motherhood, and menopause. The creative mysteries, which spark the blossoming of new life, art, and ideas. The archetypal feminine, in all its forms, is also celebrated on the Isle of Women. It's a place where the lost or damaged feminine can be explored, reclaimed, and reimagined. It's a temenos, a sanctuary. It's protected from the outer world, and what's contained within it belongs only to women. This card invites you to find a safe place and to rest a while as you explore the mysteries of the feminine. In this sacred, inviolable space, you can explore the manifold ways in which those forces show up in your own life. I love this card too, y'all, because it's like Maiden, Mother, and Crone. So, a maiden here, and the mother here, she's pregnant. So it kind of reminds me of the Empress, and the crone, the old one holding the world in her hands. And they all have halos of stars above their heads. So they're there to get the healing. The star card is the healing, right? So maybe you're healing something within your feminine. I don't know. Haven't pulled the cards out. And, I don't know if that's what's going on in your life or if you're just diving into more of your feminine energy. But the Isle of Women is a sanctuary. It's a place to go. It's a place to hermit. It's a place to go within. All right, Spirit, why does Group 3 need to know about the Isle of Women? Okay. Because there you're going to learn about equal balance between give and take. And also about what your deepest desires are, what your wishes are, what your wish fulfillment would be. And to find that, you have to have that balance of equal give and take, right? So we got the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. So take that as it resonates. Maybe you're getting a wish fulfilled. The Six of Pentacles, though, that's equal distribution. So that's I work and I give and I work and I play, or I have and I give of what I have to others. Not all of it. I keep what I need. But I'm not afraid to give to others. And that is a feminine, something that we would learn at the Isle of Mysteries, is what is my value? Where am I enough at? So we also have the King of Pentacles showing up. And though this is the Isle of Women, we do have masculines within us. We have a masculine side. And I believe that this card is just saying, hey, Group 3, keep your wits about you. And remember that slow and steady and being a little bit more conservative can sometimes be helpful. And I'm not talking politically conservative. I'm talking being smart. Okay? I'm talking, choosing your words wisely. I'm talking about getting back to center when you're emotional before you deal with other people. Finding your center first, calming yourself down first. I'm talking about knowing your worth and value. Know what you're worth. And walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. Walk away from what no longer resonates. Walk away from it all. Don't be afraid to restart. Whatever it is that's got you down here. The Isle of Women is women's mysteries, I mean, we are the intuitive creators. That's what we do. When we are in our divine feminine, that's what we do. We create, and we are intuitive. We hear our intuition. We listen to our bodies. We take time to rest when we need to. All right, let's take a look at what we don't see coming. We got the Sun in the Tower. And I'm not getting anything negative off this tower at all. I'm getting this as the sun is illuminating for you exactly what mysteries you need to dive into in yourself. It's an illumination. And then the tower brings that enlightened, sudden intuition that goes, oh, that's what that means. Oh, I get it now. That's what you don't see coming. Okay, now you see it coming. Okay, now you'll be ready for it. Any help and advice from Spirit? You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. So the tower and the sun might be illuminating some jealousy, some bitterness from others, and jealousy from others with the Five of Swords here. But you're going to be fine. You're going to walk right out of that. The Four of Wands. You're going to see it clearly for what it is, petty. You're going to know. You're going to see it for what it is. And you're going to be able to walk away with that Four of Wands. I mean, somebody's lying about you. It might be you that's lying about you. But you're going to be able to fix it because you have the Four of Wands with it. And the Four of Wands is the, it's the happy marriage card. It's the couple's gotten married, but they got to walk through the Four Wands, right? To begin their new life. So they've done the deed. Now they gotta do the walk. Now they gotta walk through. They gotta follow through. And that's what this is saying. You need to follow through on who you are, your value, and your light. You need to, that's just what you need to do. All right. Okay, and Spirit, any last advice from you? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're going to have some new truth and new inspiration and new creativity coming into you with this Page of Swords, okay? And you're going to have victory over yourself, over whatever the situation is that's got you at the Isle of Women healing. Whatever's brought you to the Isle of Women to be able to heal You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Because you've got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. New start. New start. Once you've refreshed yourself with the Isle of Women, once you've gone within and really taken in your value, your worth, you know who you are, once you can stop lying to yourself, once it's illuminated with the sun, you're going to be able to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. You're going to be able to stop lying to yourself. And you're going to have victory and new inspiration, new intuitive hits, new that will lead you down different roads. I love you so much. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next week in the Divine Feminine Message. Thank you for being with me. Go forth and conquer, beautiful souls.